Welcome to Apex Philosophy, the perfect place to find motivation. Be sure to subscribe and listen every day so you can become your best self. Please like and share the video to help inspire others. Nietzsche's perspectives on power. Who is the most powerful man on earth? If you knew who it was, would you like to be them? According to Nietzsche, we should seek power and not happiness. Why is that? Today, we're going to find out. Friedrich Wilhelm Nietzsche was a German philosopher and cultural critic. He always found a way to question how the world works, particularly how people behave, and asked why they are behaving that way. His work has significant influence on contemporary philosophy, and today we'll talk about his perspective on power and why we should seek it instead of happiness. Perspectives on power. Through the years, our views on power have shifted into a Machiavellian desire. Having too much power is bad. Having too much power is dangerous. But what makes the world go round if not power? When you try to help other people through donations, is it not because you have the power to donate? Is it not because you have the financial power to do it? Machiavelli taught us that a ruler must note that success comes from power. If you do not have the power and influence to make people do what you want, you would never be successful. For example, you can see that people follow an authoritarian leader rather than revolt. And according to Machiavelli, to acquire such political power, a ruler can use any means necessary. Now, of course, this is a dark perspective. What means are there, and what are the limits to them? When you think about political power, it doesn't seem far from possible. For example, with enough money, you can hide a murder. Another example could be, with enough influence, you can win votes. Machiavelli said that politics is a constant power struggle. For him, all politics is power politics. However, you must understand that this power is not only limited to political influence. As we previously established, a person can have the capacity to influence others, but there is a difference between influencing and manipulating. For example, a person could convince their teacher into giving them a higher grade by being a good student, helpful and hardworking. Or they could use guilt or shame to sway their decisions. Another way to influence could be negotiating a promotion with your boss. As you can see, power of influence isn't inherently good or bad. It depends on the outcome. Power is just a means to an end. However, Nietzsche thinks about it differently. The good power. What is good? All that heightens the feeling of power, the will to power, power itself in man. What is bad? All that proceeds from weakness, not contentment, but more power. Nietzsche's words are indicative of a subtle distinction between control and being in the service of your own needs and desires. Again, it somehow stems from the same argument that power is a means to an end. If you use your power to help people instead of controlling them, then you are one step ahead in life. If you are using your power to motivate other people to take control of their own lives, then you are a kingdom builder. According to Nietzsche, power is something we embody. It's something that can be expressed within ourselves. He calls it growth and expansion in his book entitled The Gay Science, where he discusses joy. The primary example is when parents ask their kids what they want to do when they grow up. This is especially the case when they see a potential skill developing. A little girl may be good at drawing things, and her mother asks her if she wants to be an architect in the future. This is indicative of the willingness of the parent to help develop the acquired skill of the child. It is something they already have. It's like planting a seed. It needs water to grow. The idea is the same concept introduced by philosopher John Richardson called the enhancement of a capacity or an activity already given. An additional point to Nietzsche's concept is that there are skills we get to develop along the way. For example, you can develop communication skills by always hanging around with people. However, you would only notice this when people tell you about it. Why don't you try public speaking? You seem to be good at it. Why don't you represent our school in the declamation competition? And more often than not, we would shy away from such opportunities. How many times have you denied joining a competition because you thought you weren't capable enough? How many times have you rejected a responsibility thinking that you're still an amateur? It's important to heed the call. Take on the challenges as an opportunity to develop those potential skills. Power is more life, not by its mere continuation, nor by its manipulation, but by life's being raised to a higher level of capacity and control. To make the proper changes in our life, we need to come out of our own shells. We must continuously leave behind our lesser selves. If you think about it, we are not who we are from yesterday. So no matter how many embarrassing things you did in the past, no matter how many failures there are, you are not them. You are the person who has tried, at least once more. You are stronger than you were. And this power of focusing on enhancing your present self can translate into a better and brighter future. The self-overcoming. Power is transition to a higher level, a self-overcoming. The purpose of power is then to overcome your old self. We need to continuously overcome it in order to produce growth. We can't be complacent. For example, if you want to be a good architect, then you would first need to learn the basics. You need to build up your foundational knowledge. You need to learn how to construct a house from the ground up. What materials are needed? What type of environment is this building in? What kind of designs do your clients love? To note, this self-overcoming also includes soft skills that cannot be translated into physical means. The primary examples of these are mental frameworks and emotional maturity. For example, your journey to self-overcoming can start with mastering your anger. Some people have anger issues, and they react badly when it comes to problems. They might throw things around and break them. They might verbally abuse others. This is why we continuously need to improve. This is what most people need help seeing. Power over yourself is fixing something from within. First, we need to heal ourselves before we can help others. Ideally, this same process of self-overcoming can also be a path to happiness. Since we are continuously seeking to improve ourselves, we become happier in the process. If we only seek happiness, then we would never find satisfaction. To find satisfaction, we must start from within. If we are satisfied with ourselves, if we love ourselves, we can slowly project it outwards. We cannot emanate something that is not found within us. If we truly want to help others, we must start with ourselves. Achieving power. Within Nietzsche's work is a simple guide for how to attain power. There are two primary steps that should be applied. The first is to formulate a goal that fulfills 4 main conditions. The first condition is that the goal must be meaningful and challenging. The goal needs to be something that can stimulate change. It needs to have an impact on us. Some want to be in better shape, and so they turn to exercise. Another goal could be just learning about colour theory to make better art. As you can see, the second example dwells on taking a simple step towards a bigger goal. However, it attacks the very core or the foundation of a goal. As such, this goal is meaningful and challenging. Secondly, it must promote our health and well-being, or the well-being of others. We can start exercising and improving our health. It doesn't have to be extreme. We just need to get up and move our bodies. Exercising every day is beneficial for the long term. You can even practice meditating, since it's also a form of exercise. Mental exercise. And what's great about exercising is that it can also be a social event. You could also do something unconventional, such as volunteering to clean up someone's place. For example, your friend is moving. Volunteering to help them not only helps you to exercise, but also helps them. You also build that relationship. Take advantage of opportunities like these. The third condition is that the goal must move you towards personal excellence. For a person to be the best painter, they first need to study colours. They would need to know how to sketch. The same goes for web developers. One needs to learn the basic courses such as the skill of coding. Each of these people would need to strive to improve. It doesn't matter how small the improvement is, as long as you continue towards a goal, that would be great. Each of the best players of life started somewhere. We all start as babies and grow up while learning skills. They were all amateurs at one point, but they all have one thing in common. They all strive towards personal excellence. The more skill you have, the more powerful you become, and the more satisfying it is to do the work. This is where you will find joy and happiness. The last condition must be that it is self-chosen. This is your own goal. You are the one making this goal, and so you are the one choosing it. In the same way, it is an expression of our individuality. It is your own personal and authentic aspirations. Why do we need to exercise? It's because we want to be in shape and practice discipline. It's because we want to impress others. It's because we want to bond with our friends at the gym. This personal expression provides us with meaning as to why we should continue with the goal. Without it, the goal is bound to fail. Nietzsche even said, "For what purpose humanity is, there should not even concern us." Why you are here, that you should ask yourself. And if you have no ready answer, then set yourself goals, high and noble goals. Additionally, this last condition also pertains to finding the real you. You can have idols, but you can never fully follow them. For example, you might admire someone just because they're great in sports or in academics. But you don't know their personal life. You don't know their personal struggles and battles. That is unique to them. And no matter how hard you try to know, you would never be able to fully understand them. You are only meant to understand yourself. You are bound to be you, and your reality is only bound to you. The second step is to actualize those goals. Planning is only part of the journey. Wishing only takes you halfway there. In order to achieve your goals, you need actions. You need to actualize it. You can't just wait around for something to happen. You need to make it happen. And so you can start by doing the small steps, just one step at a time. You need to create a path toward your goal. You need to execute it properly too. There are cases wherein the steps need to have a chronological pattern. You can't just skip step 1, or everything else wouldn't make sense. The third step is to practice control. Controlling is one of the primary functions of management. This is in line with our steps because we need to know and understand if we are truly heading toward our plans. Are we progressing or not? Is the progress slow or fast? The function of controlling compares your plans to your actual actions. It seeks to find the flaws within the current system that you have so that you could propose an improvement. For example, if your progress is slow in learning code, then have you asked yourself if you know and master the basics? Additionally, you would also find out through controlling if your plans are realistic or not. Maybe you're setting such a high standard and you can't accomplish it. Having goals which improve our skills and make us stronger gives us more power. This power helps us to accomplish more in the world, both to improve our own lives and the lives of others. We should all seek power and not happiness. Nietzsche was a wise philosopher who brought new meaning to the word power. Power isn't about lording over others. It is about becoming strong and capable. It's about growing your influence so you can use it in a meaningful way. Thank you for listening. Comment below, what goal can you set yourself to help you grow in power and influence, strength and capability? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.